Hi, this is Tom, and this is lesson 32, and it's called the scatter plot. And what the scatter plot is it's a visual graph, well, obviously if it's a graph, it's visual. So how about we write it this way? It's a graph. It's a graph that represents when data gives two related values. And we're going to take a look at how to draw it shortly, but for now we're going to create our own set of data. And what we're going to do is we're going to borrow $100. We're going to do this because I think it's a great example for people to see, and it gives us a wonderful data set. So here we go. So let's do this. Borrow $100 at 10% interest with an annual payment of $25 at the end of the year. At the end of the year. All right, well, here's how a loan works. So what happens is we'll do this. We'll call it beginning of year. Beginning of year. And then we'll write our years. So for example, at the beginning of year 1, we're going to have our principal balance. We'll call our principal. And that'll be $100. $100. Okay, now what happens though is at the end of the year, we're going to make a payment. And the payment is $25. Okay, but of that payment, the first thing that is covered is the interest on the loan. So we're going to do some scratch work here. Actually, we'll do it right here. Notice that we borrowed $100. So I'm just use 100. And the interest on the loan is 10%, which is the sale rate is 10%, which is equal to 100 times 0.10, which, when you multiply that out, the interest is $10. I should put my dollar signs in here. So wait a minute. What happens then is, we cover the interest of $10, so that means that $15 goes to cover the actual loan. So $15 reduces our $100 balance to $85, and we call that our ending balance. So at the end of year 1, we owe $85. Now let's try this again. So at the beginning of year 2, it's now the ending balance of the prior year, the $85. And for the rest of these, since every number here will have a dollar sign, we're not going to write the dollars. So again, at the end of the year, I pay $25. And now the interest, and we're going to do this. Let me round all calculations to the nearest dollar. There we go. Okay, so at the end of year 2, we first have to pay our interest. Well, now we're going to pay 10% interest on the $85. So that's $8.50, and we should round to the nearest dollar, so we would pay $9 in interest. So now what happens is our loan balance would pay $9 of interest, so our loan is going to be paid down by $16. Okay, so we take our 85, we subtract $6, and we get $69. And then we begin year 3, and we still owe $69. We make a $25 payment at the end of the year, and we pay 10% on the $69. Well, that's $6.90. We'll just say that rounds to the nearest dollar of 7. So now, notice that the amount that goes towards the loan is going up, and our interest is going down. So now we reduce our loan to $51. Okay? And then we begin year 4. Well, we still owe $51. At the end of the year, we make a $25 payment. There's been 51 times 10%, which is $5.10, or we'll just call it $5 of interest. So now $20 is credited towards the loan. So our loan is now $31. Okay, so we continue. 5. So year 5, we begin with $31 being owed. We make a $25 payment, but remember, we owe 10% of that $31 in interest, 0.10, which is, to the nearest dollar, $3. And so, let's see. So that means that $22 now goes towards the loan, so we owe $9. When we go into year 6, we owe $9. Now, wait a minute, on the payment here, we could send in a payment of $25, but let's do a little calculation. If we take 10% of 9, that's 90 cents, or we owe about $1. And so that last year, we would only have to make a payment of $10. And then $9 would go towards the loan, and we would have paid our loan. Now, this isn't a class on finance, but there is something interesting that you should be aware of. Notice that if you thought of your loan as $100 and you paid $25 a year, well, that would say you should have it paid off in 4 years. But here is the power of interest. Notice at the end of the 4 years, you still have $31 remaining. That's almost a third of the loan. And the reason for that is because you pay interest on the loan. And we say that interest is what you're paying someone for the convenience of borrowing their money. So that interest is how someone else makes money, and it's how you pay for the cost of borrowing money. All right, so now we have our data set here. We have our good data set. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a graph. And here's the graph. We are going to graph the relation of time with principal. And notice here that as time goes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, principal goes down. So we're going to pause right there, and in the next video, we're going to draw that scatter plot. See you soon, and thanks for watching.